She was a happy and curious child in a rural village in the middle of the countryside. This was a relaxing day. Her father, Thomas, was getting a fire started on the chimney. The wood he was bringing in would have made the kitchen living room smell like pine if it was not for the delightful aroma of the stew that Anne and her mother, Jane, were making. Just as her father finished piling up the logs next to the warming fire.
"Open the door, you wicked witch!"
Her mother's smile vanished as fast as she told Dan to go and hide in the attic. She fixed a stair to help her climb up, and then took it down so that no one would know that the child was up there. Anne looked through a small gap when this vile-looking man broke into their home. He was followed by the sheriff and a small mob carrying torches. Her parents did not resist as they were getting tied down with ropes and brought out of the home.
"We know everything. There is no need for a confession. You both will pay for her sins."
Anne was petrified by what she just witnessed. She looked for a way of climbing down the attic to no avail. She walked back to fetch the toy that she had left in a corner, and in the moment that she picked it up, the floor gave up and she fell into the living room. The hit was only dampened because the robe got caught in a loose nail of a ceiling beam. The moment she fell to the ground, it caused a couple of rocks to crumble next to her. There was a dim light coming through that led to a hidden room in what looked like a makeshift basement. Her curiosity led her to explore it and know what this unknown part of her house was. A small room with a gravel floor and wooden walls with scriptures written on them. But the interesting thing is that there was a cauldron in the middle of the room with a lectern next to it that held an open and old-looking book. This book had drawings of objects with weird language next to them and the title Auctor Vitae Mortis. Interestingly enough, all of these items were lying right next to the book. She took the book and took it near a candle so that it was more readable. Because she was giving her back to the cauldron, she did not notice that the items were floating and glowing more and more so that they floated and began getting into that mysterious cauldron. As she was finishing reading the book, she looked back and got spooked. Because of this, she tripped on a rock and fell, causing the contents of that glowing stew to spill onto her toy and the ground, causing it to burn and disappear. Right on top of the spilled stew, a portal appeared, and something that looked like her toy came out of it. It looked demonic, and this caused her to get scared. The tight did not hurt her and began mimicking her movements, which caused her to no longer be afraid of her. There was something that she did not notice. It was that a candle fell to a wall when she got scared, and the house was now starting to catch fire.